Hello everyone, welcome back to QueenCityCardboard. We're changing things up a little bit, we're trying a new title, and this footage is pre-recorded because I am bad at multitasking, in case you haven't noticed. So I'm going to try doing commentary over a game that I've already been playing for a bit. This game, as the title screen indicated, is Blasphemous. This is a Metroidvania Dark Souls-esque kind of game. If you've played any of the Dark Souls games, I've played a little bit. Consider it basically Dark Souls in 2D with an SNES aesthetic. I'll be sure to put a content warning in the video description, but this is there is blood, there is gore. A lot of it is pixelated due purely to the aesthetic, but there's also, well, you'll see. A lot of religious crusade overtones.
Curses is my guilt. I claim you, grievous miracle. Make my chest hurt with regret. Forge your punishment and nail it deep. Shape my guilt once again.
We got a sword in the stone.
And thus, guilt, repentance, mourning, and every pain of the soul of all kind were visibly and tangibly manifested everywhere and in all of us. Sometimes in the form of blessing and grace, sometime in the form of punishment and corruption. That divine will, equally pious and cruel, which we could not and will never be able to unravel, was called the miracle.
So yeah, Messiah figure invoking the power of the miracle. They don't say God, through self-sacrifice. Somebody pulling a sword from the stone to carry on some ill-defined mission. Brotherhood of the Silent Sorrow. The control scheme's pretty good. Simple enough that you can pick things up pretty quickly, and they obviously expect you to just jump right into the action. And me learning how to heal myself by smashing jars of blood against my face. It's not like I'm gonna need those for, you know, fights later. Basic platforming mechanics. Little indicators appearing above the character's head that give you hints on how to... Hey, Smokey. My cat Smokey's joining us. But yeah, visual indicators when they're necessary to effectively pause the game and tell you this is how this thing works. But if it's just a button prompt, then it'll prompt you with the button. It doesn't do what a lot of games irritatingly do, in my opinion, which is stop the game and tell you, hey, if you push this button, this happens. No, just push the button, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Tutorial boss! Simple attack pattern, jump and strike, jump and strike. The strike's got some range to it, so you can't just... Even if I knew how to block at this point, which I don't think I do, it's got that purple jazz that jumps up out of the ground, so it's not something you can just block, it comes out from under you. So you have to learn how to dash under him. A much more forgiving first boss than what I fought in Dark Souls 3. In fact, I never even beat the boss. I never beat the tutorial boss in Dark Souls 3. That game was infuriating. And I'm not a patient person to begin with these kinds of games, but this one leads you into... It trains you how to duck and weave pretty well, I think. Requiem Aeternum. Which I think means infinite song. I'm gonna look up some of these terms forever. And this is how you absorb a monster's power in this game, apparently. Literally bathe in their blood. Doesn't bathing in demons' blood usually... Isn't that usually a harbinger of bad things to come? I don't know. Maybe that character was once a good guy. They said that area was called the Brotherhood of Silent Sorrow. That may have been a... I don't know, bishop, archdeacon... I'm not sure what terminology they use.
Heart, penitent one. The anguish of the eldest brother has now come to an end. I am Deo Gracias, witness to and narrator of the acts of the grievous miracle.
And purveyor of hoods.
Such is my penance, as yours is silence. The cradle of affliction is what you seek. This
Do
can
I?
be found
Do I really?
in the mother of mothers of the churches.
So, a grandmother. You could just say grandmother.
It is a remote place separated from the rest of these lands by a great sacred and forbidden door. Even a wise penitent like me knows nothing of what lies beyond those high walls. However, what I do know is that, according to the rule, one must carry out the 3 humiliations to gain access to what they guard. One of them must be performed in the high mountains, covered in thick blankets of snow and ice. Another in the depths of a dark, entombed church where the sleeper lies. And the last one at the end of the trail, carved by moans that claw their way out of an iron spiral, in the bowels of the bell named Hondo that grows into the earth. Take this thorn and place it on the handle of your sword. If, when the time comes, as you grip your weapon firmly, you notice that it wounds you and makes you bleed.
As thorns are wont to do.
Having grown, with more thorns sprouting from it, writhing over the figure of the father carved into the knob, that will mean that you are at the mercy of the grievous miracle, whether for its punishment or its forgiveness.
So there is a father figure, there is a god of some kind, or an avatar of god. Still not clear yet. But as with games of this style, there's a lot that you uncover just by playing.
Even a wise penitent like me knows nothing of what lies beyond those high walls.
Yeah, we get it.
However,
You're ignorant.
What I do know is sorrowful be the heart, penitent one.
Anyway, moving on. Yep. Small gift from Diagracius, nailed into the effigy of the twisted under the guard of your sword. Diagracius, farewell. Brother Abbot, you know that I have been a scribe in this abbey since I was but a wee child. I have written about our church, our saints, and our miracle of the greatest pain. I must inform you that I have made the decision to leave, although I intend to continue writing. In these walls, I cannot be a true witness of the works of the miracle. I need to appreciate with my own eyes your holy works. Oh, dang it. Feel free to pause and backtrack for any of this. There's a lot of lore, just, again, very similar to the Dark Souls series. A lot of what would normally, in a JRPG, what would be narrative that is exposited to you by other party members or by major NPCs, is just lore that's gifted to you by seeking out these items. Which is interesting because it makes you seek out that lore yourself, and you can put things together at your own pace. You don't have to put anything together if you want to. If you just want the challenge of the game, you can just tear through this with sword and flame. Hey everyone, so there was a bit of a snafu with the recording. Watch what I don't know if you have any awareness of iMovie, have you used it, but when I imported the clip initially, it cut the last 5 minutes or so off of the clip, and look what happens here. I'm right-clicking to select and delete the original clip. Oh, look what happens! There's nothing. There's nothing. It deletes everything. It didn't delete the clip, it deleted everything. The audio, the commentary, the alternate clip that actually had the full sequence, so... okay, we're gonna work around this, but we're gonna be back in 3, 2, 1. But I enjoy a narrative experience. I want to know why my character, I don't terribly distinguish between the two. I want to know what they're doing. So, yeah, we're gonna learn the basics. We're going to learn to block. There you go. There you go. But they give you a lot of these little weenie enemies to get used to the basics. Hacking, slashing, blocking, dodging. Good tutorial level. Very good tutorial level. Oh, what's this? Oh, what are those? Let's see what we've got. Verdialis of the Forsaken Hamlet. Songs that filled the air during the festivities of a lost village. The ringing of a laced shell horn used to precede this chant, but now only silence remains. Whether in rain, sun, or wind, may this land blessed be. Whether walking or in deep sleep, may this land blessed be. Whether by day or in obscurity, may this land blessed be. Alright, so prayers are magic spells. Yum. Blood. Ow. How do I get up there? There's a thing up there, and I want it. I bet we'll find out later. But you can do better than a wagon wheel for a weapon. Or... You should have learned from your buddies. Yeah, a lot of destructible items too, up to and including dead bodies. Don't appear to have any super significance, but they're destructible environments are fun. Gives a little extra sense of, hey, this is a real place that I can interact with. It's not just pixels pasted onto a background. Ow, ow. Oh, another new thing that we're learning about. What is that? Children of Moonlight. You'll find them caged all over Custodia. So we have a name for the world now. Collectible babies. Because who doesn't like collecting babies? There you go. Do it. There you go. Learning. Look at that. See what just happened? I learned a thing. I learned how to make a complicated situation simple. It can be done.
There is no answer to our plea. The miracle has forsaken us, and my ornate throne turns its back on those who await here.
Yeah, learning I am slow at, but I am good at. I get there eventually. So, this is not going to be a hare situation, this is going to be very much a tortoise situation. But, if you bear with me, this is a fun game. I enjoyed it at least. I enjoy the challenge, I enjoy the scale of the challenge. A lot of games that people brag about, oh, you need to be super, you need to get good at games to play this. They start you off with, oh my god, this is what you're in for. Either turn back now or you're in it for the long haul. This one has a much gentler learning curve, and we're gonna experience more of that as the game goes on. For now, that is it for this episode. I hope to talk more about the themes of this game. Obviously, some religious, I'm gonna say Catholic Christian imagery, iconography, verbiage. I was raised Protestant, so I'm not in a super great position to discuss details, but based on what I'm aware of from pop culture, which obviously isn't a great place to learn, but I'm going to do the best I can, look up some definitions, and I will do that in the interim. See you next time, thank you, and as always, play to live, play to learn.